Hey everybody, I'm Jacob Castro and welcome to another episode of Super Pond here on Jacob's Aquarium. Today I got some new goldfish and I upgraded my sump filter. So stay tuned for all that and more. Alright, so let's unbox my new Calico Ranchu. By the way, his name is Kevin, and the two Arandas I have in my system currently are named Pam and Jim. And if you haven't noticed already, those are names from people that are part of the show The Office. It's no longer on the air, or actually it is. They show reruns, but it's my favorite show, so I chose to name my fish after them. But yeah, here's my new Calico Ranchu, and he's so cute. He is so cute. And when I first saw him, when I first took the bag out of the shipping box, I'm not going to lie, I was overcome with some emotion because I thought about, the previous times that I owned goldfish and how much I enjoyed them. And, all those memories just came rushing back and I kind of got a little emotional. Um, you know, Goldfish for me, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it was the first fish that I've ever owned in my entire life. Which I think that goes without saying. There's pretty much. I think that's where we all start. We all win when we're kids. We all win a 12-cent goldfish at a fair. One time or another, and that's the first fish that we start with. Um, but yeah, goldfish for me just have a special place in my heart just because I think they're special creatures and they're so unique, every single one. They're so colorful. They're characters, in the way that they swim. They're very animated, and I just really really love goldfish. And I haven't been able to own them for quite some time just because of things going on in my life. But now that everything has settled down and I finally have a place of my own to do whatever I want, I'm starting to jump back into to all these things that I used to do. And one of the things that I wanted to jump back into was owning goldfish, and that's what I've started to do. I got my those two Arandas you see from PetSmart, and I took it a step further and bought this Calico Ranchu that was bred and raised in China before it was imported to the United States. Um, I bought this Calico Ranchu from the same retailer that I bought my previous goldfish from. I'm sure you guys remember all my goldfish videos that I uploaded years ago. If you don't, please take a look at them so you guys can understand the history that I have with goldfish. Um, but yeah, I ordered my Calico Ranchu from the same retailer, and I chose to do that because this online retailer is very reliable. I like the way he ships fish. I like his the way he communicates with his customers, and I just think that he's a very reliable seller. So I chose to buy my fish from him again, and once again I was very 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 pleased with the quality of goldfish that I got from him. The goldfish that come from China and overseas pretty much are unlike anything else that you could find in America at your local pet store. They're pretty unique, and they're much different as far as color goes and stuff. So once Kevin was acclimated, I took him out of his shipping bag by hand, which at one point in time was impossible for me to do. I could never touch fish. I was just too scared. But for some reason, I got over that fear. I don't know what changed about me, but I just got over it, and I'm able to touch fish now. And once I put Kevin in my system, he seemed noticeably stressed, which, this is normal. When I bought goldfish in the past, they did the exact same thing when I first put them into my aquarium. They didn't really move around a lot. They were pretty stationary. They didn't eat for a little bit. They've been on a long journey. They've been inside of a plastic bag in a shipping box being tossed around through the mail. So, and then now they're thrown into this whole new world, so naturally that would stress out anything. So I wasn't worried at all. I knew that Kevin was fine. It was just, he was a little stressed from shipping and being put into a whole new system. So I gave him some time to relax, and within no time, I would say maybe an hour or so, he was swimming around and eating like crazy, and you know, pretty much back to his old self. But something I began to realize as I sat there and stared at my sump filter, just watching my goldfish, was that it would be really nice if I can give them some more room, because this 80-gallon tank is great and all, but I really think they could benefit from some more space. So I chose to go out to my local Tractor Supply and buy them a brand new home. I love coming to Tractor Supply because they have a lot of things that I can use at my nursery, especially for this hobby. And one of the things that they had that I knew I could use to give the goldfish a bigger home was stock tanks. So these stock tanks are used to water livestock, but a lot of people use them to make ponds. And that's what I'm going to do. I bought a 110-gallon stock tank, and incredibly, it fit in my car. And it didn't damage my car whatsoever. I don't know how I fit it in there, but it fit. Once I got back to the nursery, I was kind of dreading the whole, this whole process, taking apart the old sump filter. But it had to be done in order to, replace it with a bigger system, and it's pretty easy to do stuff like this at the nursery because you can just throw water anywhere pretty much, as you can see. I'm just emptying water or pumping water out onto the ground, and it just goes into a little stream that I made and out towards all the palm trees that are on the property, and gives them some water. That's one of the things I've continued to just love about the nursery was, the freedom. I'm not inside of a home where I have to worry about spilling water, on carpet or anything. I'm outside and I can just do whatever I want. So, as the water was pumping out, of course, I had to take out the goldfish because, without water, hello, they can't stay alive. And I chose to put them in a pond basket. This was the only thing I had nearby that I could hold the goldfish in while the sun filter was out of commission. And for those of you that are going to ask, I know people are going to post comments about this, so I might as well say it. I didn't just throw them into the pond because, if I did that, they would tear apart all the plants. And I know that because I learned that lesson the hard way when I threw 3 giant goldfish into a planted tank of mine years ago. I talked about that in the previous episode, so if you want to know more about that story, watch that video. So yeah, I put them in a pond basket, and they were perfectly fine in there while everything was taking place, the deconstruction of the old sump filter. And once the old sump filter was empty, I moved it out of the way and put the new one in place, 110-gallon stock tank, and put all the pumps in there and started filling it up with water. But once I filled it up, I ran into a problem. So at the bottom of the stock tanks, there are these bulkheads, and they're not really the best out there, and they aren't really secured that well to the stock tank. I didn't know that, so I didn't know that they would leak. I just thought that they were made really well and they were in there pretty good, but I guess not. So I had to drain the whole thing and put silicone around the bulkhead, and thankfully that worked and stopped the leak. The leak was pretty bad, by the way. Water was gushing out of where the bulkhead was. It just sucked because I had filled up the whole stock tank and was ready to put the goldfish back in, and then I noticed it was leaking. So that was really disappointing. So I mean, if you buy one of these guys, be very careful. And I would say just silicone the bulkheads if you don't plan on using them ahead of time before you fill it up with water, because, I just don't think you should risk it. I don't think that these bulkheads are the best out there, unfortunately. So once the stock tank was filled up with water and ready to go, and it was not leaking, I was ready to put the goldfish in. And I have to say I was so excited because this stock tank is huge compared to that 80-gallon tank. And just the shape of it also, it's just, since it's an oval shape instead of just a rectangle like the sump filter, it's gonna give these goldfish so much more space to swim around. And I was just really looking forward to that, to giving them a much bigger home. So I took them out of the pond basket by hand. Once again, I can't believe I was able to do that. I, 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 before this, I was terrified of touching fish, but miraculously, I overcame that fear. And oh, this was such a touching moment when I was able to hold my calico ranchu like that. I just felt an instant connection with that fish. I really did. I know that might sound strange, but it's just, I don't know. That was kind of like a bonding moment between me and him. Once I put my two Orandas, Pam and Jim, and my Calico Ranchu, Kevin, into their new home, I could tell that they really liked it. They were swimming around instantly, exploring, and just looking at them and looking at the size of their home, I could tell that this was a really, really good choice and perfect for them. And it's going to give them plenty of space to grow and, and just be happy. That's most of all, that's just what I want for them. I want them to be happy. And this is kind of funny, actually. While I was feeding them with my automatic feeder, I forgot that I was filling up my auto top off system, and that started to just overflow with water. But hey, I don't have to worry about it because I'm in the greenhouse. So, yeah. And thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Super Pond. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm so happy and thrilled that I have goldfish again, and I can't wait to watch them grow and just experience everything that I experienced before when I owned goldfish in the past. It's just gonna be so much fun, and I can't wait to show you guys more of the goldfish in upcoming episodes of Super Pond and other videos on this channel. So stay tuned for all that. Thank you guys once again for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to check me out on social media. All my social media links will be in the description below. And if you're in the market for aquarium plants, visit jacobsaquarium.com. Hope you guys are having a great day. I love you guys so much. Have fun with your tanks, and I will see you next time.